YouTube? Night's Edge here again. Got another little disassembly video for you. This one, I haven't done one of these in a while, so we'll see how it goes. One thing that I thought was really neat about this, 229 Redencion Chaves knife. Chaves 229 Redention's the name of it. Fred the Lug loaned me this one, and I really appreciate it, Fred. I've reviewed this one before, but I didn't get a chance to take the other one apart. Also, if you are into disassembly videos, definitely go check out Tommy Help with Gadgets. He does a ton of them, man. He's really great at disassembly videos. He should be linked down there in the description somewhere. But this one, again, thanks to Fred the Lug for sending this one along. I think this one and a few other ones are actually for sale right now if you want to check out on the Discord for sale, buy, sell, trade page. And thanks to all my viewers, channel members, Patreons, and everybody that's helped support me and help me out with cool knives like this, like Fred. People like Fred, Eddie. I really appreciate all you guys. Too many to name, man. Pond. So many people have sent me awesome knives. This one I thought would be really cool to do a disassembly video of because of the kickstop. So it's got this Lee Williams kickstop there. You just saw the little flipper tab disappear. So that's kind of on like a little hinge in there, I believe. So whenever you activate the flipper tab, that kickstop just disappears. Or that flipper tab disappears with the kickstop. So thought that was pretty neat. It's not like most other flippers where you kind of got that flipper tab down there to contend with, or it's in the way, or you know, like with the XM18, I don't really think it's in the way, but that's thanks to kind of like the natural ergonomics more so the knife. But a lot of times I'll find that a flipper tab's kind of in the way. So thought that was pretty neat that they put a kickstop on this one. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and we'll get into this thing. I can keep from flipping over all my stuff here on the table. So this one is a frame lock flipper. Seems like pretty basic construction, but that's not something that's proven in the past to deter me from totally botching a disassembly. So we'll see how this goes. That's a T8, by the way, right there on the pivot. And we'll take apart the body screws again. T8 on the body screw. It seems pretty long, actually. Yeah, body screw seems pretty long. So I guess that goes all the way through. Yeah, it goes all the way through that back spacer. So after taking out this other one, that back spacer should come out, or should be pretty much like free flowing or free, you know, as soon as you take out this last screw here. So that's pretty interesting. Again, did not know that either until taking this one apart. I think Tommy's disassembly video on it was pretty good. It's a few months ago before I posted this one, but again, if you guys want a really great comprehensive disassembly video, definitely encourage y'all to check out Help with Gadgets. Alright, so opening it up internally, you can see these handles were anodized. I think the ano job was done by Colin's Crazy Creations. Check them out on Instagram. But pretty neat looking anodization job on what I believe came as like kind of plain titanium handles. So that's pretty cool. So you got your pivot up here, two long body screws that go through the back spacer there. Alright, the washer. Nice little washer. We'll take this out. Kind of give it, I got some alcohol over here on a like a Q-tip soaking. So kind of clean that off a little bit. And we'll put that, let's see, we'll put that here to dry. So one thing that constantly I forget about after taking a knife apart, or sometimes, I guess not constantly, but I will forget that the like the placement of the washer and the bearings, like this one has washers or bearings on washers, so that's something to note there. And with the bearings here, not gonna soak them in alcohol or anything, just kind of clean them up a little bit, get any kind of extra gunk or debris off of there. So on this one, the bearings will go against the blade got to remember that here in just a little bit when we put it back together. And there's your kickstop right there. I'll dry that off a little bit. Clean up the inside a little bit. Got a little bit of dirt in there. I mean, it's not exceptionally dirty or anything. But, just trying to get any extra gunk or whatever might be settled in there. So, one cool thing about the kickstop, or the way it works, it disappears, right? So whenever you push that in, that knife the blade's folding shut, and it will push that kickstop up, just like that, right? So that's how it looks inside in the closed position, and then whenever you activate it, you're pushing that little swing kickstop. That goes in that groove. The motion causes it to open up, and it's locked into place in the open position. And it kind of sits there and disappears. That fits in that groove snugly like that, so there's no like rattling or anything like that. So this extra piece of metal pretty much serves as its own little flipper tab, and I think that's pretty cool. So, we got another Q-tip here. Clean that up a little bit. And that's got a couple of like washers itself that sits inside of that. So this is basically, you can see it, this is basically like a pin with two little bitty phosphor bronze washers kind of sitting on it. So I guess there is a slight potential for like dirt, debris, whatever to kind of get in there. Not really too much in there right now. Alright, and we'll set the kickstop. Let's put the kickstop right here. Alright, and we'll take her off. Alright, so a little alcohol on the Q-tip there. And clean off around the detent ball track. Any spot that pretty much sees like moving parts, you know, if you're trying to clean a knife, whenever you take it apart, for lack of a better term, you want to clean pretty much any surface that has, you know, parts moving against it. So those are all potential spots where dirt and debris could kind of settle in there. And it's like you got the washer, or the bearing, and the other washer there. I'm not going to take that other washer out. It's not really any dirt or anything like that in there. I will clean the bearing off and make sure there's no debris or anything on the bearing. Clean off this little slot right here. Got a little bit of dirt in there. Again, not too much. Alright, so on this one, it's got this kind of, I guess you could call it an over travel stop for the lock. So that little, you'll see this on a lot of frame lock knives, that little bar will prevent the knife from, whenever you disengage it to close it, that little tab will keep you from pushing that lock bar all the way out, which is pretty helpful, you know, to keep from bending the frame out. Some of them don't have them, but a lot of them do. More and more of them do have that nowadays. It kind of keeps from bending that frame out and compromising the integrity of the lock, I guess, for a better term. And this is held in by that little screw right there. If you unscrew that, it simply just comes out, and that's it. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put a little bit, I got some KPL here. I usually use Gunny Glide, but I am currently out of Gunny Glide, so I'll put a couple little small drops KPL on there, on that side, and a couple little small drops on that side. Alright, and your back spacer, again, pretty simple on the back spacer, right? And we can go ahead while we've got that out. I'll go ahead and make sure that's good and clean, which it seems to be anyway. I like how he did that on there. That's pretty neat. It's almost got like a rock kind of pattern on it or something. It's not completely smooth, and the anodization really complements that too. I think that's pretty cool looking. All right, I'll put the back spacer back. Pretty much ready to go back together with it. Clean the blade off. Let's see, we put a little bit of KPL there. I always like to put a little bit inside of the detent ball hole, you know, and I mean, you don't want to go crazy with the KPL or, you know, 10 weight nano oil or whatever it is you use. I usually use Gunny Glide, like I said earlier, but I'm currently out of the Gunny Glide. Need to get some more of it. That stuff's really awesome. All right, we'll set that back in there. And with the kickstop, put the kickstop back in like that. All right. So, let's see. Put these back on here. Just a little dot, little couple dots of KPL right there on the blade side. A little dot or two here, not much, where it's contacting that washer surface. All right, and now, well, put a little bit here too. All right, I think that's it. We'll go ahead and put the scale back on. I get this bad boy back together here. Looks like the other pivot screw. Yeah, there we go. I was thinking it might have rolled a little bit in that D shape, but maybe not. Go ahead and line that up. And just for now, I'll take a little bit of the blue Loctite. Never use red. And just put like a little bit of blue Loctite on the threads right there. And I'm just gonna put this in just to kind of hold that back spacer in place. Not gonna screw it all the way down. Make sure that makes contact with that other side. These are some extra long screws that go on this back spacer. All right, and like I said, I'm not gonna tighten that all the way down. Just gonna put it in there, so we got kind of something to hold that in place for a second. Not that it would like go really far, just to kind of make sure the scale doesn't slide or whatever. And a little bit of blue Loctite on the pivot screw. Again, I am probably one of the worst disassembly video guides that you can have on YouTube. I've not seen a disassembly video that was published anyway by anybody that's worse at it than me. So again, there's channels out there like Chaves, you know, Tommy Help with Gadgets, awesome dude, and he's got a pretty cool channel. He does a lot of good disassembly work, a lot of cool videos that he has, and is a lot more thorough. Which, I mean, we went down pretty close to the bare bones on this one, so didn't do too bad. Can't really say that though till it's all back together, right? And we are almost there. A lot of the stuff that I do for work, I handle much for the most part, much larger tools and machinery and stuff like that. So not really as good with like these smaller, I call them smaller anyway, parts and stuff. It's kind of comparable to like watch parts for me a lot of times whenever I disassemble knives. So if you like watching somebody disassemble, it's you know, not the best at it. Appreciate you guys watching me. Alright, let's check the centering on that. Centering looks pretty good, and I think those extra washers that go against the bearings kind of help with that. But I think it's pretty neat the way that Kickstop works. You know, when you engage the knife, that flipper tab disappearing like that, that's pretty cool. You know, just an absolutely awesome knife. It's definitely a big bulky, you know, kind of bruiser of a knife. Did a re-review with this one, if you guys want to check that out. I'm just going to go over everything just to make sure I got everything tightened up enough. Body screws. Alright, so T8 all the way around on this one too, by the way, which is awesome. Pretty sure T8 on that frame lock, on that lock bar stabilizer, or whatever you want to call that little piece. Let me know in the comments if I'm messing up any of the names for these parts. And T8 on the skull pocket clip too. These do come with some replacement pocket clip that's not the skull, which that's pretty easy to take that apart. But yeah, so pretty straightforward. Lee Williams Kickstop. Easier than I thought, actually. Pretty sweet looking knife. Appreciate it, Fred, for loaning me this one, for letting me take it apart. And appreciate you guys watching. Hit the like button if you like the content. Hopefully this helps somebody out there. I don't know. But also, again, check out Tommy Help with Gadgets. He's got some really awesome disassembly videos. He does them very much more frequently on knives than I do. I need to try to get into that more, I guess. But it's definitely something I've had a heck of an experience doing. So anyway, thank you guys, and I'll see y'all on the next one.